Hi, my name is DeAndrea and welcome to The Real News. Today we're going to have a little bit of a different show than we normally have. We will still have our guest and co-host, Joseph Carranza, legal researcher, but we're also going to have a guest that you will not see. He's an invisible guest, but you will hear his voice. Hopefully he'll be calling in. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for his telephone call, because this is a live call-in show today, he'll be calling in from federal prison. Now, why would we have a guest on from federal prison? Did he commit a murder? Did he commit a burglary, or did he rob a bank, or did he create some horrible crime that you, the taxpayer, would be paying for? No, not at all. This is one of the masses of political prisoners being sent to jail for trying to get our Constitution back, to try to get due process in our courts. Mr. Posr is in jail for one reason. They want to keep him quiet and get him to stop trying to fight for cameras being in the courts. Joseph Carranza has been on this case several times. Later on, Dean Lauren from the control room will talk about police brutality that he's witnessed in the past. Joseph, could you give us a little bit of a breakdown of what happened, who Posr is, his personality? What have you ever seen him be violent, or anything that you would say that you didn't like him for any reason?
Oh no, Posr is a dear friend of mine, and I've never observed Posr performing any violent or tumultuous behavior towards anybody, even people who he might have been justified in projecting that sort of and acting that way with. So Posr is a longtime New York activist, and he is a legal crusader, and he is a freedom fighter, a dedicated freedom fighter. And like you said, battling for the right to film the proceedings in the court.
Now, why would that be so important?
It's very important, number one, because the cost of these transcripts is exorbitant. The transcripts can cost a litigant several dollars per page. And
it's $4.50 a page. $4.50 for one page.
Yeah, and even a short hearing before the court can be 10, 15, 20 pages. So each time you go to purchase that transcript, it's a big expense. And also, sometimes important dialogue takes place in the courtroom. And when you get the copy of the transcript and you search for that dialogue and you search for that speech, that text will be mysteriously missing from the official court transcript. Or the information, the text will be changed from what it was, right? So it'll be missing, or it'll be inaccurately recorded by the court reporters.
Do you know, that has happened to me when I was involved in this corrupt family court case, this cover-up, of which we are still offering the $5,000 reward for Zineb Shaheen, the arrest and conviction of Zineb Shaheen, Ronald Richter from Children's Services, Nina Sarah Gross, Nellis Kim, and Dr. Richard Oberfield from Bellevue Hospital. They were all involved in a cover-up and conspiracy to get a cop off the hook who had raped and sodomized his daughter. And in essence, they're all guilty of child abuse in addition to conspiracy charges. But two instances in my case, they didn't realize that I was purchasing these trial transcripts as evidence, to prove the corruption in my case. So the first few transcripts which were the most important. They were forthright, truthful, and which proves that the judge's orders were based on lies, not what really happened in the trial. Now, after that, when they realized I was purchasing them, yes, dialogue would be missing, You know, I had my attorney ask about 9 questions concerning the DA's office, and those questions were answered, but when I bought the transcripts, none of it was there. So it was missing a few pages. Now, this recently, I was ordering transcripts from Judge Helen C. Sturm's proceeding, and it's completely missing. The court reporter only has 5 pages, and it should be about 30 pages.
Right.
Also,
Just one comment. I actually had that happen to me like 4 or 5 times. One in the 3rd department when there was no transcript taken. A 3rd department, appellate division, no transcript record whatsoever. In the federal court, 3 or 4 times I had judges make, during hearings, their orders or their observations were dropped out. And then, and one time I was doing a deposition, and key statements of admission, they admitted they were violating my First Amendment rights.
They admitted it, but it
And
wasn't on the transcript.
They screwed up the last part, but I had to reinsert that in. But so, yes, you were totally correct. In fact, the courts will alter the transcripts. And just one last point. The Second Circuit is the only court that does audio tapes, cassette tapes. I have them calling me a miserable fag. That's Judge Cardamon, Judge Gloria Sotomayor, and Judge Katzman, and the judges are actually calling me a miserable fag.
See, now
on tape.
I'm surprised that they weren't diligent enough to have erased that, because they do that as well. In family court, one of the fake charges they made up against me was they said I was isolating my daughter and not allowing her to play with other children. So 2 witnesses came in from the Fifth Avenue Presbyterian Church. One was her Sunday school teacher, which stated she had the highest attendance in Sunday school, and the other one was highest attendance of all the other children. And the other one, and she got along well with the kids, there was nothing wrong with her. And the other one was a lawyer for that worked at the church, and he stated my daughter attended all of the picnics with the other kids. She was in the children's church choir. She was in all of the children's church plays. So this shows that I did not socially isolate her. That complete recording was erased on both sides. So when I went to order that transcript, they said inaudible. So you see, I'm surprised with Dean Lauren, they didn't, just erase the part where they use language like that.
Another reason why cameras in the courtroom would be so important is to capture the facial expressions, to capture all of the the real flavor of the condescending remarks that especially pro se litigants are subjected to by the judges and these prosecutors in the courtroom. And also to capture their inflection, because I'll give you an example, like a statement like, yeah, right. That might appear on a transcript, the word yeah and the word right. But then if you had that videotape, you could see that the judge, after maybe responding to a point that you, I, or Posr had made in the courtroom, and the judge said, yeah, right.